From Rasmussen, 35% of Democrats think RFK Jr. could win. The latest Rasmussen report, national televote and online survey, found 49% of likely U.S. voters have a favorable impression of RFK Jr., including 14% with a very favorable opinion. 38% view Kennedy unfavorably, including 18% with a very unfavorable impression, while another 14 are not sure. So this is it. We don't have the rest of the data. That's the general idea right here. RFK Jr. is polling in the double digits. We're seeing something interesting. A lot of people have suggested this could be our last election, both on the left and the right. Or maybe 2020 was our last sort of election, I guess, with ballot harvesting and all the rules being changed and and COVID lockdown. Can you really even call it? Maybe 2016 was the last, because whatever's coming up in 2024, it'll approximate an election, like 2020 did, but it's going to be very, very weird. So there will be something, but you're going to have what? RFK Jr., Trump, who are the candidates going to be? The fact is, DeSantis people don't want to vote Trump. Trump people don't want to vote DeSantis. They are fighting to an extreme degree. You've got the media smearing RFK Jr. to an extreme degree, but he's polling in double digits, near 20, consistently around 20%. It seems like the system's starting to fracture in a bunch of different ways. So it's hard to know exactly who's going to win. Yep. But I did see another poll that said Democrats are more likely to vote third party than Republicans, which suggests a Trump victory. Because if RFK Jr. runs as an independent, not getting the Democratic nomination, or if they put Biden in, then it will split the Democrat vote.
Yeah.
Do you think RFK Jr. would run as an independent, or will he pull a Bernie?
There's all kinds of reports that he's considering running independent. He hasn't told me personally what he's going to do, but he might as well. I mean, he has so much momentum. There's no reason, if he has the funding, there's no reason for him not to. Right?
And do you think the Democrats would let him touch the debate stage?
No.
You don't think so?
No, Of course not. I mean, look, they cut Andrew Yang's microphone off.
Yeah, it was absurd.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was absurd.
Well, also, you can't put Biden on a debate stage.
No,
there's no way that he would be able to. I mean, already, I'm trying to find the numbers right now, but a significant number of Democrats feel Biden is too old. So, yes, there's infighting the Republicans, but the Democrats don't want their most likely incumbent nominee right now. I mean, this is not looking good. For me, and I'm not a political consultant by any means, but RFK can only benefit. Even if he doesn't end up being the Democratic nominee, why not just push forward? So many moderates are looking at him like, hey, this guy's interesting. The same way that there were moderates who didn't think of themselves as any particular party who ended up voting for Trump because they felt like he represented something. I think RFK in some way could win ground back for the Democrats. Not every single one, but I think that he represents something the Democrats haven't had in a long time.
There's a lot of boomers, I think, that would appeal to him, or he would appeal to, just because of the fact that he's a Kennedy. Adrian Curry made this called him this great thing, and I picked it up from her, the son of Camelot. There's a lot of people that are older Gen X and boomers that still harken back to that, the Camelot era, the way that they looked at the Kennedys and all that stuff. And a lot of the stuff that he's saying is the stuff that people that are fairly anti-government get into. Even he's got a lot of influence, even in the Libertarian Party, which personally I don't understand it so much, other than his anti-war and kind of pharmaceutical stance. Or at least skepticism, but I do think that he would appeal to a significant portion of the older Democrats.
Yeah, he doesn't have the same progressive edge in some ways. I mean, look at what's going on right now. He is spending all of his time in New Hampshire. He's focused there. Where is Biden going to concentrate? South Carolina. The Democratic, the DCCC is already saying we want South Carolina to primary first, and this is really upsetting New Hampshire's voters. And they are saying you are going to give this state to the Republicans. Obviously, they don't carry a lot of electoral votes. On the other hand, they are traditionally the first in the nation. So Kennedy saying, I'm going to focus on you guys, you are the state that I will pay attention to, shows an interest in keeping with some traditions and some balances of power that the Biden wing of the Democratic Party is willing to abandon.
What if it is RFK? I mean, you look, Biden can't campaign. He can't travel around the country.
No.
I mean, the big news, which we'll get into in a second, is that he's got CPAP marks on his face now, and he's 80 years old. The dude is unwell, and we've known he's got metal plates in his head. He can't talk straight. He can't travel around this country. RFK Jr. can. And what is he, 69 years old?
Yeah.
He's also fit. Got that video of him, doing he's lifting.
Bench pressing.
Yeah. And he's going to be able to go around and get votes. He's going to be able to build his profile. He does have a difficult time speaking, though, with all due respect. And that matters, but he's still been able to, he's still going to be able to get those ideas across. He's still going to be able to go on podcasts, do town halls. Biden cannot.
I think
How could Gavin Newsom beat someone like RFK Jr.?
True. And I think even with, I'm not sure what to call it, maybe a speech impediment with that RFK has, you hear it once, you get used to it. With Biden, he just doesn't have any actual cohesive thoughts. I mean, there is not, it would be terrifying to put him on a debate stage.
He doesn't have a speech impediment. The lights are literally out. Whereas RFK Jr. is a really smart guy. But do you Tucker last night came out and basically made the prediction on his Twitter show that it's going to be Gavin Newsom. And as a Californian, that scares me to death. Like, you think RFK Jr. could be Gavin?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I mean,
why?
Well,
do you think the establishment will let that happen?
Well, no. I'm saying if you were to place Gavin, if you put Gavin Newsom on a stage with RFK Jr. wins, no question.
I totally agree.
Now,
with that.
whether or not the establishment, the machine, the media would allow something like that to happen is an entirely different question.
Yeah.
So, but I think in terms of, I think Trump would have a hard time debating RFK Jr. RFK Jr. is doing a fantastic job. He's got Trump supporters being like, we like this guy, and people actually saying Trump RFK Jr. or Trump Kennedy is the ticket.
Yeah, I mean, which would be legendary.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
I mean, RFK
I would
Jr.
like to see that.
Courted, that'd be great.
If Elon's right about it being like the funniest outcome being the most likely, then bring it on.
Then Trump Kennedy. Yeah. Well, he got that Twitter Spaces where he had Kelly Slater on it, Tulsi Gabbard, like all of these people that sort of represent this anti-establishment wing that's not even tied to a political party. It's just a cultural sentiment happening. So when you have the best surfer in the world that's getting on like Twitter Kelly Spaces. Slater? Yeah, dude, he was invited to the Spaces. And so when you have the best surfer in the world like backing a political candidate, and then Jack Dorsey comes out and offers that support too. So it's a very interesting coalition he's building. And it is interesting though. You go back to the libertarian side of him that on issues like pharmaceuticals, he is pro 2A, at least he says, but then he's not always. And there are old clips that are coming out now where he's like, okay, dude. But on top of that, like he's super big government on issues of environmentalism. Yep. It's like, okay, so are you a Green New Deal president? Because that's...
Yeah, he probably is. And there are a lot of people who are probably saying, yes, I want that. There are probably a lot of Democrats who know that Biden can't win and absolutely would vote for RFK Jr., probably older ones. The younger ones, they just believe whatever they hear in the media, and it's laughably sad. Not all of them, but a lot of them. It's a kind of weird thing, right? You find like older Democrats won't believe you when you tell them what the media says, and younger Democrats believe whatever the media says.
Because they were raised on TV. Their parents have been putting them in front of the TV. They just trust it. It's like having another adult in their lives. I also think they have made it so distrusting the media is a right-wing thing. And so if it's trendy to be left-wing, you can't... well, that's what you have to trust.
It's what you were saying. If Joe Biden... hypothetically is in his bathroom and stumbles out of the shower to grab his dog's tail and then breaks his ankle. If you report that in any way that's negative, they'll call you right wing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but that's the thing that happened. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And by the way, shouldn't everybody be concerned about his age? If he were to run again, he'd be 85 at the end of his next term. So it's
there's no way he can run.
No,
he's going to beat his own record as the nation's oldest president.
Yeah,
but we've long speculated that they will criminally charge Joe Biden. He will get indicted and he will get arrested, maybe on the documents, maybe on the corruption. And then they'll say, we're not biased. We're going after Trump and Joe Biden, clearing the way for someone like Newsom.
538 has them at a 54.8% disapproval rating right now and a 40% approval. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
it's like historically bad. It's like, I think only behind Carter.
Right. I mean, it's awful. And it's been awful all the time. And he's not doing anything to make it better. I mean, right now, he's on his tour about broadband internet, which is interesting and great, but you actually can't have him talk at all because, this feels so disrespectful to say, but he is ill. He is not okay.
He is not capable of being compelling to an audience.
Even with, which should be a slam dunk, this broadband tour, he can't win support because the more he's in public, the more people become concerned.
I think that part of the reason I don't think that that's a compelling issue for the American people. Like I don't think you really think the broadband
just because
is.
Especially after COVID, there were so many rural communities that struggled. While everyone else is like, you just do things online, and communities like I think of West Virginia and all the mountains, like you could not have school online because there are communities that don't have internet at home.
And it took us 6 months to get internet.
You can
at both locations. It's insane. And it costs tens of thousands of dollars to get them to actually trench and then lay the lines down to the note or whatever. It was nuts. It took forever.
I'm not saying it's like the single biggest issue, but I do think it makes a difference, especially if you're a state that wants to develop business. I mean, you might be able to speak to this more, but if you're trying to lure young people in, you're saying, oh, you can work remotely now. Well, then you need guaranteed solid internet access. So it's not enough to have affordable housing or people buy land. Like if you cannot work from home, then the idea that you would move to a rural state like West Virginia, Maine, Wyoming to a certain extent.
I feel like there are issues that are more motivating, that are more top of mind.
I'm not saying it's the only issue. I'm just saying I think it does make a big difference, especially in the post-COVID era.
Because I feel like people now are still feeling pressures from inflation, and I do think that one of the things that's most salient, most pressing on people's minds is the stuff with this year's Pride Month.
Yeah, in June in particular.
Yeah, again, like I said, I was out in California a couple weeks ago talking to my friends that are not super politically active, and they are talking about the things that are going on in schools and stuff that's going on at Target, and that's something because it deals with kids, and parents are laser focused on the thing that is going to most make them anxious or concerned about their kids. And I think that kind of stuff is the stuff that if he were going to be able to produce a compelling message that could help his numbers, I feel like that's where it would be. And I don't think that he is in a place where, or I don't think the Democrats at all are in a place where they could actually say, look, we do condemn these types of things. And I think that that's probably one of the reasons why he's got such bad poll numbers.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.